What everyday skill becomes suspicious if you're too good at it? Story 1. Strep throat tests. I used to get strep a lot as a kid, so by the time I was tested for it as a 20-year-old, I had the process down. They stick the big popsicle stick in to hold down your tongue, then swab the back of your throat while you try not to gag. Well, I happened to be tested by a relatively new, young, attractive doctor this particular time, and when he complimented me on doing well on the test and not gagging, my response was, "Thanks, I've had practice." If not suspicious, it was at the very least more than awkward after realizing the implication of what I just said. Story 2. Remembering things about them. They forgot. I told my friend I was getting a job at a store we know. She told me, "I think I've been there before." Then I told her that she had, and I repeated the conversation we had word for word. I got some weird looks from her. Story 3. Microsoft Excel. I found out how suspicious this could be by taking over reporting from others. It took them so much time, but I'd automate it to pull from the database. Where the previous owner spent 2 hours a day copying and pasting hundreds of cells, I spent a couple of hours setting it up once and then hit a button and was done. I used to release it right away, even with a script to open, refresh, save, and email it. This caused people to not trust the numbers. So now I still pull in the data but hold off on releasing it for a little bit, sometimes even releasing it late. Edit. I see a lot of people wanting to learn Excel. I did a lot of trial and error learning. I'm in my mid-50s, so I've had time. Learning a simple programming language helps. I learned BASIC as a kid and Pascal and Fortran later. VB is the most useful now in Excel. You can add a developer tab, Google it, and it will show you how to add it. You can record macros and then record your steps when doing things like inserting a column, copying a row, etc. You can then see how it works. Mr. Excel, not to be confused with Ms. Excel, is a great resource. Also learn VLOOKUPs. They are very helpful and you can get how other formulas work. Finally, Google knows all. I don't know if being good at Excel becomes suspicious, but people were suspicious that the data wasn't accurate because it was processed too quickly. So that kind of counts. I'll let it slide this time, OP, but watch yourself. Story 4. Being unbothered by blood and guts. I'm a veterinarian. I've spent days up to my elbows in all manner of bodies, parts, and fluids. I can watch surgery or necropsy videos over lunch. I did an eye surgery on Tuesday, and somebody had to catch the new kid. The big ones aren't allowed to get faint. It's very inconvenient. Related aside, when the nice young lady at the bank says, "Oh my God, there's blood on your shirt," assuring her that it isn't your own, in fact, offers no reassurance. OP, what made you think it was a good idea to say, "Oh, don't worry, it's not my blood"? Yes, very inconspicuous, OP. Not suspicious at all. Story 5. Moving through unreasonably tight and cluttered spaces. My friends and I used to hang out at an extremely cluttered warehouse that belonged to a hoarder friend. It was full to the point where moving at all without getting stuck or causing a garbage avalanche was difficult. And there I was, gliding through hills of hoarded garbage like some kind of ghost. They told me it was creepy. Story 6. The drinking game. We play this drinking game where you take a paper bag, put it on the floor standing up, and you have to bend down on one foot and grab it with your teeth. Each round, you trim a few centimeters off the top and keep lowering the bag until there's a winner. One of my very unathletic friends at the time would easily win every round. He was flexible enough to get the bag only 6 inches off the ground. People were super impressed. I joked, "It's all that practice from sucking yourself off," and the look he gave me, combined with the awkward laugh, made me think I might have been closer to the truth than I would have hoped. Story 7. Breaking into someone's car. A few years ago, I was at a new job, and a coworker locked her keys in her car. I got the door open in under a minute. The security guard watched me and had some concerns with the speed at which I opened the car without damaging it. Truthfully, the guard wasn't paying attention to what I was doing. My first car was a 2-door sports car, and I learned about a design flaw when I locked my keys in the ignition. She had a similar car, so I took advantage of that design flaw to open her door without damaging it. Story 8. Remembering things for other people. I pick up random things in conversation, not necessarily in conversations with me. I like to listen. I'll wish you good luck on that special thing tomorrow, tell you happy birthday, or remind you not to forget something. It has saved myself and others from getting into bad situations. Imagine a guy at work who reminds you not to forget your wife's birthday next week. Yeah, I'm that guy. ADHD has taught me to remember the things I do pay attention to. Story 9. Peripheral vision. I'm very good at getting detailed information in my peripheral vision. I don't have to look directly at someone to study them. It makes me sound like a pervert, but it's a skill I developed because I worked in situations where letting someone know you're watching them had bad consequences. But so is being ignorant of what they're doing. It's also really handy. Also, reading upside down has had its benefits.